Hey guys, Ryan here. It's 2 o'clock on Wednesday. I've got S in the waiting room. S, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Are you able to hear me? So I don't know if okay. Anyway, so again, my name is Ryan Steinelson, and I'm the owner of Accelerate Marketing, and just this is our usual Wednesday call where we are talking all about artificial intelligence and digital employees to make your life easier and to help you guys convert more of the leads that you're getting from whatever platform it is that you're using. And so I'm the owner of Accelerate Marketing. It's a digital marketing agency that's been around for the past 16 years. We help businesses generate a continuous stream of pre-qualified, pre-sold leads. We are Google local service ad partners, and we optimize both the Google local service ad page and the Google business profile pages for business owners so that they can have that pre-qualified, pre-sold stream of leads, coming in. S, are you able to hear me? Are you able to hear me? S, are you able to hear me? Here. Can you hear me? Are you able to I don't know if he's able to hear me or not. Let me know if you guys are able to hear me on online. Again, my number is on the well, my number's on the screen. It's 619-304-5155. Again, that's 619-304-5155. And you can also join our school community. It's skool.com/local lead labs. And, today and every Wednesday, and we also do these on Monday as well, where we talk about the two strategies that I was just telling you about, which is Google local service ads and Google business profile. Um, um, Optimization for your business. We can hear you. Awesome. Thank you, Gideon. Awesome. um, so let me know, Gideon, if you have any questions or if you have any interest in jumping on the call. I'd love to invite. I'm going to send the invite link out here. Let me know what questions you have as well, Gideon, in terms of if you, I don't know if you have a business yourself, if you're an agency owner. A lot of people that join me are own their own agency. So I'm going to share my screen here so that you can see. So this is the local lead labs that we have here. Obviously, we're live right now. There's with the All About AI workshop. We do have a calendar that you guys can go to. If you haven't joined this community, please do. We primarily focus on Google local service ads optimization. You can see on Mondays, that's where we talk about that. It's our workshop, Ask Us Anything about LSA. And then, so it's every Monday and Wednesday. So you can see our calendar. And then you can see our classroom. We've got free content here that you guys can reference. You can take these courses here and learn all about Google local service ads with these 4 videos. And then with these 3 videos, you can learn all about Google business profile optimization. And with these 3 about AI so that you can, as a business owner, really crush it. I mean, and so let me know if you guys have any questions. You can text them in the comments. And I'm going to add S here, or hopefully he's going to rejoin. So if you guys don't know what AI is, you've been living under a rock. I'm going to stop sharing my screen. So if you're a business owner and you really want to take it to the next level in terms of optimizing your business, then there's a way for you to do it. I just got a text from one of my clients who's an attorney. He doesn't want me to tell exactly where he's an attorney at, because he's concerned that his competitors are going to recreate what he's doing. He's doing very well. He got 23 leads today. We just turned on his Google local service ads. And I'm going to show you an example just to show you. So it's like attorney Miami. Okay. And this is just, let me show you. So here's attorney Miami. So if I'm typing in attorney Miami, I want to find an attorney in the Miami area. This is the Google screened, or otherwise known as Google local service ad section right here at the top. Okay. This guy was actually one of our clients. Farah Morgan is one of the largest attorney in the country. And what you notice, or what I notice, is that these guys don't have an option to message them. It's just call. That's the only option that they really have. And so what you can do, and this is where you can really leverage, this is how it ties into artificial intelligence, is if you're a business owner and you're getting these type of, and you're listed here in the Google service ad section, or you're listed here on the Google Maps section, then you have the opportunity to really leapfrog ahead of your competitors, because you can respond to leads instantly with an agent, with a digital employee. So, S, are you able to hear me now? I can hear.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Back
Awesome.
on.
All right. Not anymore. Yeah, I can hear you. So cool. Awesome. Glad you're on. So S, you want to introduce yourself?
Sure. I'm S. Lee. I'm the founder of Messages Improved, where we allow people to come in and build AI agents. And it's nice, Ryan, to be kind of back in the swing of things.
Yeah.
And hearing all the progress that is being made with AI agents, and it feels like things move generally pretty quickly. And so it's probably been a month and a half since I've been on one of these. And
Yep.
okay, there's 5 other AI products out there to talk about and catch up on.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot. I mean, and so I'm gonna show, everybody what, what I was just referring to, which is leveraging artificial intelligence to really set themselves up for success, and to really be head and shoulders above their competitors. I have a fuse box that needs fixing. Okay, so so this is what happens when you go to Angie's List and you're trying to find a competitor, or you're trying to find a service, a business that can help you with whatever your needs are, a service-based business. What you're going to do is you're going to go through this gauntlet of questions a lot of times, and and what they're going to do is they're going to pair you up with a business that most of the time does not have a way to respond to you quickly. And therefore, if you're a business owner that would receive a lead like this, whether it's on Angie's List or Thumbtack, most of these leads come in through email. And so this is where it's pretty much the same process with all of these lead generation tools like Thumbtack or Angie's List or Yelp. They're going to try to match that person up with a business that does a good job of responding to the leads that they get. And these different lead generation tools like Thumbtack and Angie's List measure that by identifying how quickly you answer the phone right off the bat or respond to message leads. And what ends up happening is that Thumbtack or Angie's List, they sell that same lead. They all do the same thing. They sell the same lead to multiple businesses. So if you do not, and this same thing happens with Google local service ads, okay, right here at the top. I'm going to show you. So this same lead, if it's sent as a message, when somebody goes in here, if there was an option for send a message, which usually there is, and these guys are both not using it, which is kind of sad. And it's probably because I know these businesses. I know Farah. They're built for intake, for phone calls. They're not built. They break down when they get an email, when they get an inbound call or an like an inbound call from a source that they're not used to. Anything other than a phone call, these guys don't know. They really are not built to handle those kind of leads. So
Mm.
if you are that kind of a business that cannot take those kind of leads, there's an agent out there for you that can have a very sentient conversation, a very valuable conversation that will add value to the person calling your business or whatever business that they're calling or texting or chatting with or trying to chat with on their website with these businesses. So this agent is 4 in 1, or it's as many as you want in one. It's basically it can communicate in any way that a human can: text, chat, phone, um, email, etc. And that's why I'm bringing this up, is because that's why I brought up what I did here with Angie's List and Thumbtack. Is that if you want to be able to beat your competition today, you can do it very easily with an AI agent that can communicate on behalf of your business. Okay, so that's what I'm trying to communicate and help people understand. Do you want to add to that, S, or what do you think?
Yeah, actually, as you were kind of going through that, I was wondering why you were going through Angie's List. Um, and I want to bring up the point that I think people, when they hear AI and they think, hey, it's going to do things my people did, right? They
Hmm.
immediately think like, okay, well, there's only a finite pie that it's either AI does it or I do it, right? But
Hmm.
as we found with the internet, like there's a place for it, and whoever adopts the newer technology just gets first dibs on this, like, you know, this growing ocean of opportunity, right? And so it
Hmm.
does, as you went through that, what it made me think was like, these platforms that like have aggregated a whole network of people and professionals, you know,
Hmm.
um, they've almost done like a poor job of connecting you, because like let's just say, okay, well, Fair and Morgan, right? Like there's
Hmm.
certain buckets of things that they do, but like, you know, there's this increasing chat of like every person gets a personal AI agent. So let's just
Hmm.
say, yeah, you gotta leak, right? And you're like, okay, well, in a world with new personal AI agents, if this AI agent is able to go out and go find somebody, right, that's in your area, does whatever it is that you need, right? Like that's kind of amazing, right?
Yeah.
And as much as we create AI, we're talking about AI for the business side. There is potentially this growing area of like, okay, well, if your business doesn't have an AI agent, that these personal AI agents are going to increasingly go out and try to interact with and say, hey, I have this issue. Do you handle this? But this is a very unique case. Do you handle that? Right? It's almost like that infinitely more efficient way of finding the human service that you need, you don't get the benefit of. And I know it's almost like, you know, it's almost like Inception. It's like the next thing that comes up after the obvious. And for a while, that seemed like it was so far away, right?
Hmm.
But with like more recent tools, that's like, hey, there's a computer usage AI, right? Like all the big players are putting these out there. So like, yes, the possibility of having an AI, next version of Siri to be like, I need a plumber because I have this issue, right? Go
Hmm.
out and find, businesses. Anybody who doesn't have an AI agent is in a way disadvantaged, right? Because these AIs don't have an efficient way to chat with, your business AI.
Right. So you're saying that individuals are going to have a personal AI agent that are going to go and get things done for them, and they're going to go and book a dinner reservation for them, and they're going to find you're going to say, hey, go find me somebody to fix the faucet,
Yeah.
and there's going to be a personal agent communicating with the business and that could be a business agent on the business side. And
Yeah.
what I'm talking about, what I introduced you guys to, is the business side. So I was
Yeah.
talking about, as a business owner, if you're on Angie's List, if you're on Thumbtack, if you're on, by the way, let me just show you, if you're on Google Guaranteed or Google Screen, okay, and you're using either the booking feature or the message feature, both of these send an email to you as a business owner. Are you going to be able to respond to that email in less than 30 seconds? If you cannot every single time, then you're losing money. Money's going out the window. Simple, full stop. Like, and so what I agree with what you're saying, S, you know, and people are going to get there. You know, most people are just like, holy cow, how do I, you know, and this is, you know, mainly what this workshop's for, is to get business owners to understand what the opportunity is, that they can have something here on the end of this booking feature and the end of this message feature that is not a human, that can give the person the answers that they want at the time that they try to book the call without it being a human. It can be an AI agent. And I just encourage people to test out these agents. You can test ours and see how good it is by going to texting the word audit to 619-304-5155. If you have any questions about how to implement this, you know, S obviously mentioned that he's got a messaging or an AI agent platform. We have one as well. They're uniquely, they're distinct and different platforms, but they both do really the same thing. They provide a way for businesses to be able to leverage conversational AI to respond or to answer the phone or to take inbound calls or to do anything, any number of services in their business. And so yeah, if you guys have any questions, please ask. I just wanted to show examples, and I agree with you. As I think 100%, that, and I was just talking, I don't know if you're on when I talked about one of our clients this morning. We just turned on the Google local service ads for them, and they got 23 leads today.
Whoa.
And it's just and it's just because we made sure that we optimized their Google local service ads page before we turned it on. We made sure that the AI was ready before we turned it on. And there's definitely a sequence of events that you want to do. And we usually talk more about this on Mondays, because Mondays is more about local service ads. But yeah, I mean, if you really want to make sure that you build a consistent pre-qualified, pre-qualified, pre-sold stream of leads for a business, there's really no better way than to leverage, Google, specifically Google local service ads. And then on the end of that conversation, or at the other side of that phone call or message or email that people are sending in to correspond with that business, definitely connect an AI agent. If for nothing else, just to back up your intake. But yeah, I mean, I hear you. There's swarms now. There's so much happening in the AI world. I forget the tool, but I think it's called Jira or something like that, or Jira. And yeah.
I mean, Jira, that was one of those like kind of like project management, like slash tech support, like for developers type thing, where they create like a ticketing system, and it's just like making it, and all these platforms are basically putting AI in it, right? Like going forward in like a year from now, WordPress, Shopify, any of those platforms are going to be like, hey, you want a website? Like there's AI built into it.
Yeah.
And I wanted to kind of bring up the point that like, like we're pretty frank on our discussion, like, in these workshops, that like one of the most frequent kind of pushbacks we have, especially on the voice side, is like, do people want to speak with an AI, right? And you and I had these discussions about like, okay, it does sound a little robotic. Behaviorally, a lot of people are used to just, when they pick up the phone and it sounds like AI, and they think they're gonna get the, hey, press 1 for English and 2 for Espanol, like click, right?
Yeah.
And and I think I'm fairly confident in like 6 months time it's going to be indistinguishable from people, right?
Oh yeah.
And so all the complaints that like in the interim, it's almost like growing pains, right? Like you're in this kind of like no man's land, right?
Yeah.
Like there's really something to be said for the people who are investing in kind of like what, you know, an AI powered conversational like employee is, because the moment that that turns indistinguishable from a human, you know, you would have planted the seeds. and
Mhm.
and there's a lot of work internally, because, you know, just think of workflows, right? Like what happens when a lead comes in and who follows up and does, you know, like these kind of things need to be examined by
Mhm.
putting in an AI agent. And of course there's going to be growing pains, but like I definitely think it needs to be said that like, you know, you don't have to use too much imagination to see like going forward the companies that like embrace this early, right? It's almost
Yeah.
like Instagram, social media, like you saw it as soon as AI came out that it was the next medium and people were
Yeah.
jumping at it, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's going to happen in 2025, right?
I
You're going to
agree.
be interacting with businesses and just not know it's AI.
Mhm. Oh yeah, and it's going to be multimodal, which that really I look at the definition of multimodal being that it's multiple different types of communication that you can use. So it would be text, chat, email, voice, you know, all the different ways that you can communicate with it, and just like you would a human,
Yeah.
and actually the agent can go flip back and forth between voice and text even faster than we can because it lives in the digital world. So it has access. It's not like us where we're, you know, flesh and bones. I mean, we're not living in a computer. It's connected all the time. The agent's connected all the time. So it can switch from voice to text to chat instantly. So that's why I think it's really important if you are considering to set up a conversational AI agent to set one up with to just think about like some things that, you know, and these are some things that I think would be good for us to talk about. S is a what are some of the things that you would look for if you were considering on setting up a conversational AI agent with a business for your business. So in other words, you're looking to hire a conversational agency, you know, a conversational AI agency to set up an AI agent for your business. What would you look for? And then the other question I think is really important is, you know, with these, you know, these conversations that are happening, you know, via email from Angie's List, from, you know, from Thumbtack, from Google Local Service Ads, how much of an advantage is it to have your own ownership of your own chat agent versus using the chat? Because you brought up a little just a second ago that the agents are going to be built into these platforms, and that's going to be great. But I think the advantage is for you to set up your own conversational AI agent that you use for all your platforms. So it's like a wheel and a spoke. You got the spoke or
Yeah.
the middle of the wheel is your conversational AI agent that goes out to all these different platforms, as opposed to you having to have a conversational agent that's just siloed in one of the spokes
Yeah.
for one of your lead gen tools, whether it's Thumbtack or Yelp or Google Local Service Ads or whatever. Then you've got to have 15 different places that you're keeping track of your conversations. And so I look at that as being a major disadvantage. And so I guess I'll just kind of give you a
Yeah.
little bit of an easy entry into the answer there.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that kind of caging in is something that we probably experienced over the last 20 years with every influencer, right? On Twitter, on Instagram, you have people who have built up massive followings, right? Oh, I violate their rules, and all of a sudden I lose my entire network, right? So I think
Mhm.
that concept of being able to take your AI with you is
Mhm.
really like people have already gotten burned by it, right? The
Yeah.
most powerful person arguably in the world, Mr. Donald Trump. You know, his megaphone, he made Twitter his megaphone, and then they were like, "Hey, sorry, you're banned," right?
Mhm.
And so that could happen, and I think people would get, you know, a little trigger shy with investing so much in AI within a platform that doesn't allow you to almost take your network with you, right?
Right.
And um, and so I think that's a
Well,
very big consideration.
It is. So when you say it's a very, I want to make sure that I want to double click on that using,
Mhm.
like these, but the lingo of the podcasters. Let me double click on that. So, when what you just said there is, take it with you. What does that mean?
Yep.
What be specific? Like, well, like, what is it? And this is the reason why I said, yeah, I think it's going to be very important to have the AI conversational AI agents be portable.
Yep. And so, like, look, when I say, hey, there's going to be AI on WordPress and on on Squarespace, right? There's a big distinction between you using those agents because they're not yours, right? And if you think
Mhm.
of AI agents as employees, right? They're not your employees. They're employees on Squarespace's side to make your experience on their platform easier, right?
Mhm.
But that same agent that knows how you did your Squarespace page isn't going to be able to go to WordPress and be like, hey, let me take my learnings from that and recreate
Mhm.
something on this platform. So I think that's kind of a distinction with using the AI agents that platforms bring up. And I would even bring up OpenAI. When people said, hey, custom GPTs, right? I can create it. I can put in a prompt and I can get this custom GPT to do things, right? Well,
Mhm.
it's OpenAI's employee that you have on loan, right? Okay, well, try to plug into another platform. Try to put it into your phone system. Now you're going to be waiting for OpenAI to allow you to do that, right? And we already
Mhm.
like that's when businesses, I think, can't operate at that pace, right? As fast as AI is evolving and moving, you're always going to be subject to the development cycle of OpenAI. Okay, when are they going to do voice? When are they going to do text? Right? All right, I've steered all these people to use my custom GPT because they can answer these basic questions. But when can I have that be a callable number? Right? And so I think it's really important for people to think about that portability, if you will, of their AI agent. And spoken another word, like phrased another way, is it the company's your employee, or is it somebody else's employee, right?
Mm.
And
Yeah. So in other words, you can have an employee that truly is a an AI agent that's a quote unquote employee that you've trained up, but and you can make that agent so that it can respond to all these different platforms with the knowledge base that you give it in the way that you want it to communicate. Because let's face it, a lead that comes in from Thumbtack is going to be very similar to the lead that's going to come in from Angie's List. That's going to come in from Google Local Service Ads. So how much sense does it make? Because I see Thumbtack and Angie's List trying to start creating AI agents to help these business owners to respond faster so that they can create a better feeling on behalf of the person that's reaching out to the businesses, that, oh, I'm getting service right now. They're creating a better experience. They're trying to create a better experience where you can do that. I mean, you can do it that way, one at a time, with all these different platforms, and
right,
create a new agent. But you've already gone through the training of training multiple employees, I'm sure, as a business owner. If we all have, and I'm done with that. I just want to create I want to train one agent one time and have it learn from all these different conversations that it's having, and become better and better and better over time, so that it's able to be used for all these different platforms. Then all the conversations are in one place where you can see, and you can even separate them out and say, hey, you can assign a different phone number potentially, to each different platform, so that when a number comes into your platform from Angie's List or Yelp or Bing, but still the same agent is still responding the same way to all of those conversations. So this is something that you want to think about. I mean, yes, there are platforms out there like Go High Level. I mean, but you know, here's the thing. Again, kind of putting all your eggs in one basket, because you've already got your CRM with them. You've got everything else with them, and they're trying. The one thing I've seen with Go High Level is that they are like a Swiss Army knife. They do a lot of different things. The challenge is how good are they at any one of those things, or doing any one of those things very, very well. This is the reason why we've used CallRail. We had to use CallRail for years, even though Go High Level provides call tracking just like CallRail does, because they just don't do it as good as CallRail does. They just don't, I mean, I love Go High Level, but as far as a CRM and for the landing pages and to make sure that everything's tied in so that you can track it, it's a great solution for that. I just really caution business owners, or at least be thinking about this. If I would start thinking about this as a business owner, if I were you, is okay, what's your long-term goal with this employee?
Yep.
What is it? Do you want it? How many different lead sources is the conversational AI agent going to be answering phone calls for? And has the conversational AI agency that you're working with, have they thought about how they're gonna port, using taking a phrase from the call tracking world, how are they going to port or move over all of those conversations if you want to go somewhere else? Have they thought about that? you
Yeah.
know and
Yeah.
how many implementations have they done? That's the other thing I would look for is, you know how many times have they done? Are they just getting started? Are they what's the foundation for their software? Is it a work? We've talked about this before.
Yep.
Is it a workflow? Is it built on like a Python, type software platform that, anyway, so I just,
I
what,
mean,
yeah.
and I would say that, you know, it's 2.5 years in, right, since AI is out, and there's still a lot of snake oil salesmen, right? Like
Hmm.
you see a lot of content out there that's like, it's so easy to build this, you know, and I think it is really important to ask, an agency, can you show me
Hmm.
an example where this was done before, right? Where
Hmm.
you've built
Hmm.
and I saw an article the other day that talked about enterprises and where they are in their AI science projects, if you will.
Hmm.
So over the past 2 years, AI comes out, electricity in a way gets invented, right? And
Hmm.
everybody has an internal team that they wants to do a proof of concept, right? Like let's
Hmm.
play around and do our science project, and 90% of them failed, right? And this new article that I just read the other day said that, like, okay, well, there's these enterprise tools, like let's just say a Microsoft, a Google Cloud, right, has these off the shelf agents that make it super easy for you to build, right?
Hmm.
And there's an advantage there. So that's ease of use. So getting back to your question of like what to look out for, right? For agencies is like how easy is it to build an AI agent, right? And
Hmm.
we have this workshop to actually demonstrate to people. We've done so many of them where like in 10 minutes it was built. So
Hmm.
that ease of
Hmm.
use has to be there, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I would draw the analogy of like it's kind of like the website. When the internet came out, there weren't the Wixes, the WordPresses of the world, right? And those made it super easy for people to create their own AI agents. But then it's like a kind of like maintenance and ease of use going forward question. And even though Wix, like you can put a landing page, you can click and drag, like
Hmm.
a
Hmm.
button
Hmm.
in there, right? But like going forward, you still had a third party manage it because it's not your core expertise. You as a business owner, whatever it is that you do, you're not on top of that an e-commerce like website professional developer, right?
Hmm.
And so
Hmm.
I think it's really important. Like the only, but so there's pros and cons to everything. The Googles and the Microsofts of the world with their enterprise off the shelf product might make it super easy. Go High Level
Hmm.
makes it super easy, but you called them out on it. Like you're a jack of all trades, but you try to do something more advanced and deeper and say integrate with the software, right?
Yeah.
you, you're never going to talk to a person that will build that for you from Go High Level, right? So then what do you
Hmm.
kind of do? It's like building a site on Wix and WordPress and then realizing like, holy shit, this is big. I need a full custom website, right? You're just
Hmm.
starting all over again. So I think it's really important for people to kind of like ask themselves, like there are third party like DIY build your own bot and then like, integrate it with Zapier, Make, and connect it to other platforms, right?
Hmm.
But like, okay, well, let's just say I wanted to build on top of that. Do you have, is your company designed to do that? Because there was a
Hmm.
third party tool that we would use, right, for clients. We would prototype on it, right? But they didn't have a enterprise offering above that. Like, okay, I made the basic agent. do the basic
Hmm.
things, but now I wanted to go deeper. Oh
Hmm.
shoot, like I can't get a resource to do that, and now I'm
Right.
stuck with your platform.
Right. Right. Yeah. Yeah. So exactly. If you got to make sure, I think that what you're saying is, and we got a bunch of people on. So if you guys have any questions, please ask. I mean, if not, we'll probably wrap up here in about 5-10 minutes. Because the whole key to making this a workshop is to have people on. So I put the link in here for you guys to join. What S is talking about is in what we've been talking about for the past probably 25 or so minutes, 25 minutes, is just to summarize, is that if you're thinking, if you are a business owner and you want to very simply enter this artificial intelligent game, and you really want to start playing in the AI world, the fastest way to do it is to have the AI, or have an AI that you build, that you create. The biggest impact that it can make on any business, in my opinion, is to have it respond to customer service and or intake calls, whether that's messages, emails, text, voice, etc. And that's what we've been talking about. You can do that today in a matter of 5 minutes or less. You can set this up. You can make it so that you can have your own conversational AI agent in less than 5 minutes. And it really, that will respond to text, voice, chat on your website, etc. Thanks for the heart, whoever just posted that from Rox. Thanks a lot, Rox Zerna. Yeah, so you can do that very quickly, very easily, at a very low cost, which will definitely lead to a higher conversion rate for your business. Okay, and and the reason why you'll get a higher conversion rate is because your calls and your messages and your emails will be responded to faster, and you will also get better rankings on all of the platforms where you're advertising, whether that's Google local service ads, whether that's Google Business Profile, whether that's even your website will rank higher because you actually have the chat embed code on your website. You'll rank higher on Angie's List. You'll rank higher. Yes, thanks. Yeah, Stephanie. So he's enjoying the AI agent, and I can show you actually. This is the challenge. And I'm actually about to use AI to recreate his website and send it over to him, because the challenge has been to be able to properly embed the agent on the website. That's been the biggest challenge. So I've been using things, tools like Replit, and even Google Studio, and now Grok is in the game with their Grok Studio. You can literally give it. I mean, I can literally go to his website. I'm not going to do it right now. I mean, I guess I could, but literally just show a screenshot of his website, say recreate this website, and it'll do it in a matter of minutes. And then I'll say, here, add this embed code, and I've got a really good prompt for it actually here that I'll show you. Let me go back here. I just hold on. I just added this here. This is it. Build me a one-page website. I want the navigation menu at the top to say home, about, reviews, services, and contact. When the user clicks the menu items, it scrolls down to that section. Use HTML, CSS, and JS for the build. Pull in the reviews from the Google Maps profile, and also pull in all the information about the services, contact information, etc. So, I mean, if you just give a prompt like that, and you give a screenshot of the website, the whatever system that you're using, Replit, Lovable, there's so many out there. You'll have a website in less than 10 minutes that it'll self-host for you. You can actually have it self-host for you. And anyway, he's liking it, but it's been a challenge. And I'm going to go look and actually see the Fruit Hunter. I'm going to see how it's looking here. Fruit Hunters. Here we go. I've been telling him to put it in line, and here I'm going to show you guys, and then we'll jump. Hold on one second. Yeah, and this has been the challenge, is just getting people to actually. Hold on one second. Ask me. I muted you because there's background noise. Now you're unmuted. So here's the few. Okay, so yeah, so here's the chat widget, but see, it's like nobody sees it. It's right. It's like nobody sees it, and it needs to be in line right here. It needs to be like right. There was a pop up that you guys didn't see it, but there was a pop up that came up. Instead of the pop up, the agent needs to pop up and talk to them and start chatting with them. He's got it here, but it's not getting used because people aren't finding it. Unfortunately, it's not. He doesn't know really well how to like add this content to his website, and so there's just that's been the biggest challenge. This is just one place that the agent can be used, though. I mean, this is there's inbound text messages, inbound emails, inbound phone calls from, for example, like I said, Thumbtack or Angie's List, or right here on Google Guaranteed. I mean, there's so many different ways that businesses can get inbound leads where they can leverage an artificial intelligent agent to respond, to the question that they get. So anyway, I hope that makes sense. Anything else? Yes.
I mean, I'll tell you when I first came across generative AI, one of the very first products I built was a little chat widget to go on a recipe like website,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
And I still think that is a fantastic use case because what's going to happen, this is going to be the evolution of the internet. Um, with the generative AI is you're going to have interactive web pages. And I think your fruit guy is still thinking like old school, which is I'm just going to dish you the information I want to dish to you. The
Yeah.
standard is going to start changing where we have interactive websites and they're going to start ranking higher and higher because the customer gets what they want, right? They knew they
Mhm.
wanted something about exotic fruits, but let them dictate the experience because right now the page is what you want to dictate to them as the experience.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly. It's let the person find the answers that they are looking to get, as opposed to you trying to guess what they're trying to
Yeah.
find and then put that information on the website. The tables can be completely flipped, and a lot of value can be added without you having to put any extra resources into it with humans. And that's what we're trying to communicate. Thanks, Stephanie, for asking the question. We've got some people on. Please text us at 619-304-5155. I hope this helped. I hope you guys are seeing, you can ask us any questions there. You can go to our school community, school.com/local lead labs. And there's all kinds of free information there. There's a free course that we've got to help you understand more about how to create this continuous stream of pre-qualified, pre-sold leads for your business. And you could be the next business owner, like our client that's getting, that we just turned on Google local service ads for today, that has an AI agent that's not having to answer any more phone calls and is getting 23 more leads today. And all those leads are being answered, by an AI agent. So,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's like the
really.
business owner's dream, right? I
Yeah.
I I, I built a maybe non-scalable business, but now AI allows me to, in theory, just make money while I sleep, especially if it's a service one, or like a white collar one. So
Yeah, and that's what he's doing, and he's loving it, and I'm really, I'm grateful that I'm able to provide that value to him, and it's some of the things that we talked about today are definite considerations for you as a business owner. If you're watching it late or you're getting the tail end of this, definitely go back and watch some of the considerations that you should have if you're a business owner and you're wanting to add AI to your business, because these are things that you're going to be grateful that you thought of now, so that you don't have to go and retrain another AI agent. You've got one agent, that you can use from the beginning, for all of your platforms, for all of your conversational needs. That's completely scalable, expandable, um, and all of that. So anyway, I hope that makes sense. Anything you want to add or
I would
final?
just add one more thing. Your fruit guy, all these websites, I know they have different languages, right?
Mhm.
But I mean, if you guys don't know about prompting, to get the AI to speak every possible language, all you have to do is add to the prompt, speak in the language I speak to you. right? So just think of your
Mhm.
fruit guy who, like, you know, I don't know if he speaks some other language, but somebody finds his site and says, "Hey, I want your services," right? But because the
Yeah.
language barrier was impossible, and now
Mhm.
it's a matter of putting in an extra sentence, and now you can be servicing this whole, like, you know, slice of the community that you've ignored.
Yeah, the what I think what you're saying is that you can, with especially with the messaging, the messaging and the chat, because it's we're leveraging ChatGPT for that communication, and but we can have that communication in any different language,
In any
and
different language, right?
yeah,
Without any much additional work, you know,
yep, yep, yeah. I mean, and yeah, people can. Yeah, I can see that. I mean, if I go to, Fruit Hunters
right?
and I
So if
go,
somebody
yep,
came in and hit the chat widget and just wrote "Puede hablar en español," you know, and, you know, ask questions about what kind of fruit do you have, right? Like, you know, it just required something in the prompt.
yeah, yeah, there we go.
There you go, right? So, like, boom, you didn't even kind of like build that in, you know, like as an explicit feature, but that's the added benefit is now with the AI agent, you can address now anybody who visits your site who might not speak English.
Yeah. I don't know if this is how you spell parlez-vous français, but I tried it. Um, yeah, I'm gonna say, please speak to me in French. Yeah,
It's just a prompting thing. If you just
yeah,
added that
so
line, you know.
yeah, yeah, and if the person started speaking in French, it would just start speaking in French to them, just like up here.
Yeah,
With the
exactly.
Spanish. Yeah, lo siento mucho, pero yeah. So, good point, and there's a lot of other features that are added, evaluation of the calls, obviously we're using AI to, it's again, we're using AI to evaluate the AI to identify, how the call went, and so it just keeps going, and there's all different types of strategies that can be implemented once you start leveraging, AI in your business. So, um, all right, well, great having you on. Let's
Yeah, thanks for
um,
having me on.
yes, and if you guys have any questions, please text or chat us up, and definitely looking forward to seeing you guys again next week.
All right, bye everyone. Bye
Later.
Ryan.
Bye.